Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have good audio today. And Merry Christmas, everyone. We're going on take 1. And thank you very much for taking the time to review our products. Today I am going to be going through our managed services delivery programs. And as part of a managed delivery, what we're doing is we're taking our enterprise software and we're making it available to our customers in a hosted form. So some people call this software as a service. Others it's just how they sell their software now. So some people split it out and some don't. But what we are trying to do is take our Fusion Shell technology, which integrates different types of content into a single, what people refer to as a pane of glass. And Fusion technology allows you to do any kinds of development work, whether you're using traditional Microsoft Visual Studio tools, whether you're running Node.js, or you're running straight HTML formatted files. You can bring all those together in the same desktop. And what we're trying to do is create on a HTML browser the equivalent of what we used to deliver to enterprise desktops. So once you build an application now in a web toolset, we can in fact embed it into a desktop and make that available with the same kinds of security that we had in the past. So anyway, Fusion Shell in itself is a very important technology. It creates applications that are roughly equivalent to what Visual Basic and Visual C++ do, and that they control the screen formatting, not just the menu bars at the top, but the entire space of the screen, how big it is, how it's presented to customers. So when you're going to build a enterprise portal for your company, most of us start something traditional like a WordPress site or a commerce site, and we try to adapt that into something that makes more sense for the size of the organization you're in. So when I run a small retail operation, I am really just trying to get a few pages out to my customers. But when you're trying to build a Walmart or a Bank of America's website, it's very detailed and modular in how it's being presented to customers. So what Fusion Shell technology allows you to do is to embed applications and sub-applications in a common directory format. So it's not so much about what the code is, it's how it's presented to customers. So what we're trying to do, if you've ever been to a frame shop and you've done your fancy artwork and you put it all together and you want to go to the framer to put it on a mat and to put a frame, some type of frame that sort of meets your business around your artwork. That's essentially what Fusion Shell does. It provides a security wrapper and a texture that's very similar to an artistic frame shop. So that's really what we're trying to do initially. But behind that, when you go to meet customers, they typically have an orientation around their accounting system usually. And the accounting system is very important because it runs their business. It has all of their reports in it, their inventory, their products, and their pricing. And so when you go to talk to new customers, they're all like, well, yes, we're an Oracle shop, or we're a Microsoft shop, or we are an SAP shop, usually. And if you go in with technology that doesn't sort of fit into what they're doing with their back office, really what you're trying to do on the front end usually doesn't work. So your sales cycle is pretty much driven by what your customer is using in the back office. So when I worked for what is now Microsoft Consulting back many moons ago, we only were selling Microsoft solutions. At the time, it was Solomon Software. It's now Microsoft Dynamics 365. And our leads were generated from Solomon, which is now Microsoft, and they were given to us, and we really only talked to customers that were using the same accounting system that we were, but it excluded us from everyone else. So I used to live in the state of Delaware and the greater Philadelphia area. And out of that zone, we may have had between 500 and 1,000 customers that we could call on that were using the same technology as we were, and that was pretty much it. But when you look at the city of Philadelphia, it has 5 million people plus in it, and they have tens of thousands of businesses. So if you go after, just what you're dealing with on the back end, it really restricts your sales capabilities on the front end. So we have an approach that we have built to take our portal technology and match that to what our customers are doing in the back office. So the largest three main implementations today, as far as total sites, really go into Microsoft Dynamics, Oracle, and Oracle NetSuite, which is their online system that's a little more tailored to specific industries, and then Aloha, which is owned by NCR. So those are really the three largest common application basis that you'll see in the marketplace. At the very high end, you'll see SAP come in, and you'll see custom IBM applications. And so those teams have a different type of sales cycle than you would use normally. But at the very high end, they have a lot of money for integration. And so they're looking for more components than an end-to-end solution. But what we've done with managed services is we really have a Fusion Shell environment that's tailored based on what your accounting system is. So we're essentially building a front-end portal technology for your existing back office. So we integrate in with what customers are already doing, and then that allows us to help them build better websites, better tools, not just in the public marketplace, but also in the enterprise as well. So the first part of our business today is just, as far as managed services goes, is Fusion Pro delivery. So what we're doing is we're taking a professional environment like what you're seeing here on our website. This is our own tool set, and we are delivering that to customers. So the way it's based is based on how many users you have, but for large environments, we do custom pricing. So what we're trying to do is put a portal technology in place that integrates a lot of open source technology, a lot of integrated technology, and tie that all into an accounting system. Now, this is our fourth generation of Fusion Shell. We started about 5 years ago building the technology, but we did a precursor system for what is now Bank of America almost 20 years ago. So what we're developing on Fusion Pro is something that we have been doing for more than 20 years as a business and as a consulting team. So Fusion Pro in itself is a very powerful tool set. Now, along with Fusion Pro, we are also adding um, what we're calling Velocity Magazine and ISP services. So when you go to carrier customers, telecommunications providers, they have a lot of stuff as far as dedicated services. They have wireless, they have circuits, but really what they're trying to do is sell to customers. And so to help a PTT environment get to market with a more robust marketplace is very helpful. So what we have done with what we're calling Velocity, Velocity is an ISP tool set in a box. It does everything from manage users to manage their enterprise voice environments. It allows people to build their own playlists and create their own desktop environments that have all their music, their video, and their content in the same place. Now, that's technology that's been out there since Yahoo used to make custom portals, but Velocity is a little different in that it integrates in with your enterprise voice environment. So what it was initially designed for was to manage 10, 100, and 1,000 user voice platforms. So if you have a Cisco platform and a VIA platform or a 3CX platform, they're the three largest IP voice providers. So what Velocity is intended to do is to be the front end for their tool set and also to integrate what they're doing in with the Fusion Pro technology. So you're not just getting a portal, but you're getting an entire enterprise lifecycle. So just this in itself, when I worked at Bank of America, we had over 55 mirrored enterprise platforms with more than 1,000 users on them. And as part of that, we bought a lot of managed service to just manage the infrastructure, manage our upgrades, our releases. Those kinds of things are very difficult to do. So the second part of our managed services business is just around delivering an ISP environment and a magazine. So what's in the magazine is just articles that are of general interest. We have added politics. We have added some content on sports. And so we talk about really what's in the news, but we try to publish 4 or 5 articles every week that makes it sort of in the class of a Newsweek or a Time magazine who delivers a monthly edition. We are doing about the same content of articles, but on a weekly basis, we're sort of breaking them out. So we're trying to write 20 or 30 unique stories every month, and we have a little larger focus than they do. But we also integrate in content from the internet, TikTok videos, YouTube videos that we republish and rebroadcast. So that makes our magazine a little bit more interesting. So when you're an ILEC and you're trying to deliver an ISP service, usually what their challenge is isn't dedicated services or wireless or even the enterprise voice environment. It's delivering a software that allows them to drive business all the way to their customers. And not only that, but to do it on a global basis. So if you go into an ILEC in the Midwest and they have a certain territory, to sell outside of that territory is very difficult for them with real salespeople. But on the internet, they can have a different reach. And they can also package things that they're already doing, like video on demand, and compete in some places with the likes of Netflix and HBO out of market. So if they have something unique that they've built, they can leverage that with Velocity and go from there. Now, what Velocity does, we do have a number of different variations of Velocity. We'll cover that another day, but we do offer white label and gray label services where a customer may want us to build an entire portal environment with a different brand name, which is what we call white label. The gray label is they're selling Velocity service, but they're getting paid for it as agents. So that is something that we understand. Now, as part of what we're dealing with the ISP environment, it's location driven. And when I say that, I mean that we are literally, when you log into the network, pulling and archiving location. And we're also archiving location when you use services. So when you click on the magazine, or you click on home video, or your video DJ services, when you click on specific areas of our portal, we are pulling location information. So as you drive in your car, use a mobile device, your location will change over time, and Velocity does keep track of that. So as part of the Velocity infrastructure, we have a location processor that goes with each component of Velocity, so that when we want to provide analytics on the location services, we can do that. And we're using technology built by Capital Technology Solutions. They are a Raleigh-based provider, and they provide wholesale location processing in a regulatory framework. So pulling someone's location is one thing, but if you're not in a regulatory framework, you have a lot of risk in your business. So what we're doing is customers who are offering Velocity, we're giving the capability to break out location services and use that for direct marketing purposes. That doesn't mean that we're selling your location data. It just means that we have the capability to tie into someone who just wants to target people that are in the Charlotte area. So our technology allows us to be to direct market to specific groups of customers, or specific customers who have been in our area. So if you own a restaurant and it's on Main Street here in Columbia, you really just want to target, customers that visit you regularly with your promotions. Now, you may do something different for people out of market, but in your monthly promotions, you might want to just try to fill up your restaurant on Monday and Tuesday nights, for example. So Proximity One is the third component of our managed service. Proximity One does have its own portal, and it's based on the location data that the other technologies are driving to the business. And then lastly, we have a lot of customers in the law enforcement community, and they have a lot of video from a lot of different sources, some from security cameras, some from body cameras, some that they have taken manually. And we have built a generic archival system for video, which we're calling a video management system. And we are using, believe it or not, a WordPress software load along with a large disk store to provide that service. So WordPress has very good capabilities to embed media and redistribute it to the web. People have built plugins for those kinds of things. And so our VMS is very capable simply because open source technology is ubiquitous, and because it has plugins to all the social media fabrics. So you can store video in our tool and then republish that out to Facebook, to your business site there, to your Twitter sites. So it gives you control over writing articles and how you're distributing those. So that's pretty much what we're doing as far as managed services goes. It's one of the three components of our business that are driving our growth in the future. In other segments, I will go through the ISP in detail, along with our enterprise software. And we have a learning environment that we're bringing online, and that will be what we're calling Greenville Press and Training, and that will be specific solutions on how to develop software and books that we have published, which are a separate division of our company. So we really have three divisions today. We're adding a fourth in the coming year. So that's very exciting for us. And at that point in time, we do have a software base that is now over 10 years old. We started in Florida in 2013. So we're now on our 11th year of development, and at this point in time, we do have a mature product base, and we are ready to go to market to really any size company at this point in time. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope you have a great day.